So I've noticed that you're looking feedback for combat, if I remember correctly. So I'm pretty much just going to ignore the graphics, the art style, the placeholders, and maybe just firstly and foremost focus on combat. What I really like right now is that you're showing us how to play the game. So we have pretty much attack, okay, heavy attack, defend, offensive. All right, it doesn't seem too hard, too difficult to understand, so let's just start with the game. Hopefully it starts. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, it's definitely a bit laggy, but hopefully my PC will handle it. Okay, I really like the timer that you have over here. That's really... Okay, I really don't... It's so weird how my character is looking down. Okay, the heavy attack is really weird a bit. It keeps missing. Okay, now it hits. Let's see, so we got roll. I mean the light attack. Okay, my game is whoa, what is going on? In any case, the light attack seems to work pretty fine. I really hope that we unlock some abilities, right? But sincerely, it doesn't really seem that oh, okay. Launch forward, dealing damage, 10 minutes for damage received for 6 seconds. Let's do with this one. And then we just move to the another level, okay. As I mentioned, I'm going to ignore all the sounds, all the graphics, all the aesthetic, pretty much doesn't really matter too much. If you said you want feedback on combat. But what I definitely really wish right now is that, I mean, it's really simple to move around pretty much, and it's very easy to look around, so that's a really good thing. The only thing, you definitely just need some animation work, you know. But this is like blocking. Let's check the blocking part. Okay, so it also wastes this. Okay, that's a really neat idea. I like that. And then, okay, I got hit. So it tells you clearly when you get hit. Okay, that's good to know. So let's see again. Don't hit me. Yes, it does. Okay. So I'm holding my... Yeah, okay, the heavy attack is so weird, I'm not going to lie. It's very inconsistent. Okay, I'm holding right now. It takes so long for him to... I get hit like 3 times before even... So I guess probably... Okay, whoa. I guess... Alright. That was my fault. I like how you're able to, you know, you kind of understand. Okay. Manage damage received for 6 seconds. Launch forward with increased range, dealing increased damage. Let's go with this one. Okay, so we have crits as well. That's good to know. Whoa. Okay, that's going to be a very disadvantaged thing if we just use, you know, like... Yeah, as you can see. Really a big fan of that animation right there, because it's going to be disadvantage when there's going to be a lot of enemies around you. So they shoot 2 times right now. Okay, I guess we can move forward. I really hope we get some like mini bosses or like larger bosses, not just like simple enemies, right? But as I mentioned, okay, let's test it out again. So it does a decent amount of damage. Yeah, in my opinion, it just takes a bit too long, and you're just going to die before you even do anything. Like, you're just able to simply hit 3 times, you know, like with light attack, and then it's kind of pointless to use heavy attack. Because you can just kill them faster with your light attack, and I keep getting hit. What? Okay. I can definitely see dash being used when there's a lot of enemies, but for right now it doesn't really seem to do much. Okay, and again we get the steel guard. Okay, I hit the wall. Yeah, I mean, if it just, maybe if it does a little bit more damage, the Q ability would have been smoother, but... Where is the other enemy? Okay, here he is. But in general, what I really like is this timer thing. Is you're just you're not really able to spam too much. The second thing I really like is how it's easy to grasp this game. Okay, I kind of like that actually, that you're able to like just move around and then at the end of it you're just able to attack, right? Okay, as you can see, sometimes when I'm attacking, it doesn't really register the attack. Or maybe because I didn't have too much of this thing. But in any case, I could be wrong here as well. But as I was saying, I really like the simple combat. It kind of limits what you can do as well. Okay, so this was like the first time, few times that I managed to actually destroy them. Okay, I like the dash ability, the dash mechanic. I mean the roll mechanic. And obviously you can now maybe like play around with the abilities, right? Like maybe have, like, I mean with these passive and active abilities, like, oh, get quicker the ability to like hit faster, or maybe like to get this meter filled up faster when you wait. Deal damage in AoE in addition to minus free damage received for 60 seconds. So I guess it kind of upgrades on each other. I think that's also a good idea. Maybe you could add like more of these things. Like for example, first have 4 buttons, like 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of Q and E. I think that would be a really sweet addition, right? Let's just see this. I guess this protects me. Yeah, I don't lose too much HP as well. Alright, so I'm pretty much just killing it right now, okay? Okay, I think the block mechanic is a bit too overpowered, but that's just because maybe enemies are too weak right now, and that's main reason why I'm saying that is because you're able to actually block everything without taking too much damage. And this like goes back way too fast, you know, so you're like not in minus here when you're defending yourself. So I think that should definitely be a bit balanced more to make it more like risky to actually block. Instead, maybe you should focus on like maybe dodging instead of doing that. Okay, okay. So I guess if it hits the shields... Okay, now I can understand. No, that's actually something decent, right? Because if you're able to block it like that way, against multiple more enemies, you know. I'm kind of tempted to try maybe other abilities if you're gonna be unlocking them. This one dies instantly, okay. Okay, I am tempted to just... how do I... Can I... Okay. I was tempted to just maybe like restart and get the idea of other abilities. Because I'm quite sure I still have something else besides the dash one. So I would like to check on that for sure. But I'm liking the combat so far. Like, it's not really that terrible. It just kind of needs more immersion, if you know what I mean. Like the aesthetic, the graphics, and everything. Besides the ones I picked. So let's see about that. I can definitely say that the light attack is not the smoothest thing. Like it has this delay, if you know what I mean. Like for example, I'm hitting, but it has this slight delay between attacks, which is not a really bad thing, but it's definitely a bit noticeable. I'm really not sure if you're planning to maybe like add more enemies into these fights, because if you are, it's definitely going to be a lot more noticeable than right now. And I would have definitely really liked, for example, for us to have like stat meters somewhere in the corner for us to see. Okay, so you're not really able to... Oh, okay. Let's... Like, we only have 2 abilities right now. If I... Let's see, actually. But in any case, what does this do? Hold on. I actually like this way better than the upgraded one. Mainly because the animation cooldown is much better. Yeah, I like that. I actually like that animation, I'm going to lie. So you're able to like hit multiple enemies at once. Even those behind you, like, that's decent. What I would have, for example, what I really like in this kind of games is maybe ability to change your weapons, right? For example, we start with our shield and sword, and we're able to maybe like get our character a different type of weapon, right? Like, okay, these two are blocked together, okay. Like for example, to have a mace, or maybe like a huge axe, or maybe like something like bow and arrow. That's something I usually enjoy playing with. Okay, yeah, we have soul lance. Let's check that. So I guess it's the same, right? Just probably a bit stronger. What I really like as well is this constant moving around, which is really good, and I'm kind of stupid because I keep taking this damage. I also like the part where the game clearly shows you that you're being hit, right? Kind of like having that slowdown moment. That's really neat as well. I like that because like sometimes the games don't really show you if you take damage or not, but this one is a really nice nice addition, right? In any case, I don't know why I missed that actually, because I know I was looking at the enemy, but I guess my character didn't turn around properly. Okay, he actually flew away. Oh, okay, that missed. Okay, yeah, that's definitely something that should be addressed with the hitbox, pretty much, but in any case, the combat is solid for like if this is like the first prototype of the combat you want to approach. Maybe like have these different animations for like attacking, you know, so it's not always the same attack pattern. Like maybe he's swinging left and right, you know. I'm kind of thinking, what else do I not enjoy about the combat? I mean, maybe just making it much more smoother, like much more friction matting, like the friction matters for the combat as well. Right now it's solid, right? Like right now there's a quite interesting idea. It's just these animations maybe need to be better, but I can definitely see a direction you're going for. Usually I think it's really wrong to compare it to other games, but you can have experience with different type of, let's say, this type of action RPGs, or maybe like something in a similar matter, pretty much. But I am liking it so far, actually. I keep taking this damage stupidly, actually. because I keep forgetting I have block thingy. But yeah, as you can see, it's definitely taking a bit more time. Wait. So, hold on. I'm like holding my shield right now. I'm not holding my shield, so. Oh, so you want it. Wait, so does mean if I upgrade myself, the shield gets. Wait, I'm confused now. I'm generally confused right now because if you're going for blocking with this way, it kind of needs to be perfect, right? And that's something that people are going to like, depending who you ask. Guard burst. Which one did we take? I think we took the guard burst. Especially, I'm gonna go again with this one. Ah, okay. Makes sense. Okay, so he doesn't hold the shield too long. Okay, I like this mechanic where you just throw them away. That's actually really nice as well. Like if you're able to have what's it called? Like maybe stun mechanic added, like parry mechanic would also be really good if you're able to just, you know, execute the blocking thing perfectly. That'll be really nice as well. Right, this is just a very generic combat, right? Like nothing too much is really going on. As you can see, I completely refuse to use the heavy attack because I just really don't find it that comfortable to use. And as well, dodging mechanic. I think dodging should be like, this is fine, right? But definitely needs to have, you need to have more ways of using it, pretty much. Because if you're just fighting these several types of enemies, it definitely gets a bit tiresome to just throw it. And you know, of course, you get hit. Yeah, that's definitely not a. I'm kind of using my roll mechanic to just, you know, like maybe it is for like to move quicker around. But other than that, I really think that maybe when you use a roll mechanic, you should be able to dodge everything pretty much. Like this. Kind of curious to see what happens if I die, actually. And these different type of. Yeah, definitely more status effects would be a really good addition to this game, actually. Let's see. I think maybe you should have, in the playtest, for the playtest, you should have maybe added ability to maybe have, more enemies added. Because if I'm just fighting these, like, few enemies all around, it's just going to be a bit boring, and you're able to actually properly test the combat if you have, like, multiple enemies at once. Okay, so you just level up. I presume that when we level up, you also get more stamina and more of these things, right? More health, more attack power. That's why I mentioned it'll be really nice to have like. Oh my god! Okay, he flew away so hard. Alright, I really like this. You know, like when you play Vampire Survivors and things like that, you're able to have like lava burning below you. But yeah, some enemies, as you can see, are bugged a bit, but that's okay. Sweet. Kind of curious to see what happens if we die, actually. So I kind of want to a bit summarize, but this is like based on my personal experiences and based on my personal feelings about the game right now when I'm playing it. Like, to summarize, first things first, I definitely think animations should be a bit more smoother to maybe avoid the delay between attacks. For example, I click and it takes him a bit time to actually hit something, and you're able to, like, you know, spam, but the meter is like spamming, right? But it's not like properly spamming when you're using attacks. Another thing is heavy attack should definitely be a bit more easier to use. Maybe have like a combo meter, you know, like if you have like combo meter, your enemy is your character is like hitting faster, or maybe I'm kind of thinking too much aloud here, but in any case, that's number one. The number two is definitely the parry mechanic would be a really great addition, or maybe not really pure parry mechanic, but like when you time the dodge, when you time the blocking animation perfectly, or something special to happen, you know. But other than that, that's pretty much my second. The roll mechanic definitely should be a bit more smoother, because right now you see I'm taking damage even though I'm rolling, you know. So that's definitely something to work on. Another thing is the abilities, right? The abilities. They're also not that smooth. For example, this E ability feels like it's just not really that worth it, you know. I mean, it's fine when you get, but yeah, oh my god, I'm gonna die actually. I'm kinda curious to see what happens if I die. Yep, I've died, so I can actually restart. Okay, I really wish we had like a restart button at the end. But in any case, maybe like work a bit on the UI as well. For example, I personally would have the green meter. The green meter is actually fine, because it's kind of showing you in the eyes here, but maybe have the HP and mana meter down below, you know, so that it's probably much closer to see to your eyes, pretty much. That's usually how I look when I play at the usually RPG games and things, in games in this kind of type of genre. But okay, now I'm kind of questioning is, do I really need to time my dash or my roll like perfectly? Or maybe have like multiple dashes, for example. Have like, for example, instead of just rolling, we have like a sidestep or something like that. Like, those ideas are really cool. But as I was mentioning, the other things, the abilities definitely need to be much more impactful, if you know what I mean. Right now, just having that simple ability is like having that simple like launch attack is decent, but the animations are really stiff, and kind of makes me not want to use it, if you know what I mean. But in any case, if I look around everything, the combat, you're going in a really good direction with the combat. Is that right now it's definitely a bit more about immersion as well. If I really want to properly, so like right now I'm just spamming my attacks, but they don't seem to work sometimes. And as you can see, like I'm getting much quicker when I'm attacking, but okay. In any case, I like the idea where this is going. This could be definitely a decent game if you're able to just add a bit more enemies to everything, because right now enemies are just like this is kind of boring, if you know what I mean. Like just hitting the same enemies all over again. Okay, apparently I'm not getting any abilities right now, even though I level up. Am I discovering some new bugs here? Oh, that's really interesting. Obviously, everyone is going to have a different opinion about these things, right? Someone is definitely going to enjoy this very simple combat. Someone is definitely going to maybe want something much more complex. But you have to look at the perspective of, is this enjoyable, pretty much? Will this be enjoyable for everyone? If this is enjoyable for everyone, then you're going in a really good direction. For example, I definitely really enjoy much more complex things, but this is enjoyable. Like, you're able to have this like this feedback instantly when you're hitting an enemy, so that's really good on my part as well. Yeah, the animations. Look at my character. In any case, the heavy attack definitely needs more functioning, because it feels like my character is looking at the ground instead of looking at the enemy. It's actually, it's kind of hard to hit as well. Yeah, okay, this guy missed everything pretty much. Okay. But in any case, I am digging the combat right now, pretty much. It's actually not too bad. Yeah, I really hope that you don't really take the... You don't really have to expand too much on everything here. Like, the concept and the idea is solid, you just need to work around behind that idea and everything else, pretty much. You can definitely play a lot with the combat, pretty much. I also saw that you mentioned some of the games. I didn't really go into much detail which game you mentioned because I kind of forgot which games you mentioned. But in any case, it's actually very okay to take maybe ideas from those games. Definitely take something that you would enjoy playing yourself as well. I mean, it's quite important to just keep playing and playing games, right? The more games you play, the more ideas you might eventually get as well for your own combat. But in any case, I mean, I'm trying to maybe think of a few other things that are kind of on my mind right now, but getting no actually idea. Oh yeah, you see now, right now I just noticed this in the bottom down corner. That's level system, right? It should definitely be much bigger. I think that maybe it should be bigger and maybe like give us. I mean, I get it that you're probably going to improve the UI and the UX, but everything should definitely be a bit slightly bigger, right? And I think this is a bug right now on the game part, because as you can see I'm leveling up but I'm not getting any abilities. Maybe it's because I restarted the game when I died instead of doing it when I from the menu, right? But this is alright. I mean, I'm gonna try to test a bit of the blocking mechanic. Let's see. Okay. So wait. You're only defending when someone is closer to you. So if you want to... Okay, that's a fairly decent idea as well. So if I want, for example, to have myself defend against range attacks, I can just simply... Yeah, okay, makes sense actually. Wait. Wait, I'm not holding my shield, right? But I'm not taking any damage. I mean, I'm holding my shield, but apparently I'm taking damage. And as you can see, this is what I was talking about, right? When you are surrounded by enemies, it's very risky to just, you know, block. But I think the blocking mechanic is... See, I was holding my shield there, right? Okay, that's really interesting. I think that's pretty much it from my part, pretty much. There's really not much to see, which I really wish I was playing a little bit more complex stuff, but as I mentioned, the idea and the concept are quite solid. Like, you don't really need to go too deep right now, just maybe focus on things you find important. Definitely just want to see how inconsistent the blocking is, really. So if I hold it... okay, I'm taking damage still, but if I do it like this... So, yeah, it needs to be kinda... Okay, that's weird now. It needs to be like... Then I think about it, maybe like... I'm not sure if that would be too much a bit, but... Maybe, for example, have like a... When attacking is like having a color, when it wants to strike, for example, red color or green color, for it to strike, when it's ready to strike, you can have like this perfect block. For example, I was maybe a bit 2 seconds too late a bit here, but other than that, okay, so the enemy, they actually just want to get closer to you, pretty much. what I've definitely I'm not sure what kind of enemies are you also planning to add. Are you planning to add a more long range enemies, or maybe like those closer combat enemies? But in any case, yeah, I guess I'm going to end it here, because as I mentioned, there's really not much to see, and you're just watching me pretty much just slap zombies with a sword. But I really don't find these long range enemies annoying at the moment. They're decent right now, mainly because they're not annoying to actually deal with. Usually these type of games have a lot of these annoying long range enemies. But I think I'm going to end it here. Okay, I'm just able to spam, right? This why actually we are moving so fast there, like this is very beneficial. I'm also kind of curious if you're gonna have like a more open-like fights instead of like having these just closed area fights. But in any case, the combat is pretty much solid, but that's just in my opinion.